Hi, it's me, Kat. I'm back again. So, what does it mean to be mixed? The term multiracial means to be of two or more different races. This is based on physical characteristics, so things like skin color, other things, while the term multi-ethnic typically means two or more different ethnicities. Now, this tends to be based off of culture. This usually means that either your parents or someone down the line in your family is not of the same race and ethnicity as the others. Me, for example, I am African American and Hispanic. So that makes me both multi-ethnic and multiracial. So there is almost a debate over what constitutes someone as mixed and what's not. And that's just because most people don't exactly have like a thorough bloodline where there's no mixing at all between any kind of people. So just for the sake of this conversation, we will identify mixed individuals as those who have a parent or a grandparent who have a different ethnicity or race. And I'm not saying that's what it has to be. That's just what you're typically gonna see out in the world. However, a lot of the time, these don't really mix well because of a lot of social distinctions and cultural differences. And things people might not even consider might influence mixed individuals in a very negative way. Hello, welcome to my channel where I talk about things that interest me. My name is Kat, and today we're going to be talking about problems mixed people can face. If you like what I've got to offer today, consider subscribing, liking, commenting, or disliking. I like to try to make the best videos I can, and your feedback really does mean a lot to me. Let your opinion be heard. I occasionally stream on Twitch, and I post on most socials often, so follow if you'd like to. So one of the worst problems in my opinion, by far, is the blatant racism you might experience in your own family or by your own parents. Whenever there's a chance for otherism, whether that be skin color or language or culture, there is almost always disastrous consequences on how it influences a child when they're growing up. Some of this can include, but is not limited to, your lighter parent might be racist to your darker parent. And this doesn't even have to be in big ways, right? Like I'm talking about small remarks, snide comments, just general treatment. A sense of not even fitting in with your family. Unfortunately, just because your parents might not be racist doesn't mean everyone in your family is not. I have friends who just became parents and they have a beautiful little baby boy. And unfortunately, the grandparents did not want to see this baby boy or the significant other specifically because they were not of the same race or ethnicity. Like, that's insane, not caring about your grandchild because they're not of the same race or ethnicity. Like, what is going on? And of course, different treatment by those outside of your family. But we kind of knew that was gonna happen, especially when you're with one parent versus the other. This often sends very confusing messages to children and shows them that, well, one side of you is right and the other side of you is wrong or less desirable. And this also might influence those same kids to hide those kinds of features in themselves. So gender differences. More than likely, the mother is going to be the one rearing the child. That is, they're the ones embedding them with the culture and the things that they know. And more than likely, in mixed relationships, you will have the mother being Caucasian or lighter and the father being darker. So in the times that a non-POC parent is raising a mixed child, there's unfortunately going to be things that they just don't know about. And unfortunately, a lot of them simply won't go and find out, especially those who weren't around when we had the technology we do today, like the information and like just being able to Google it. One really big experience that a lot of mixed people can kind of feel together on is not being able to know how to do your hair. That is just something we've all apparently gone through. I didn't know how to do my hair until I was like, late high school? I would say even after that, unfortunately. I'm just glad I'm not the only one. So of course, this can lead to a lot of self-hatred internalized by a mixed child. Like being unable to relate to your peers about typical Black or POC experiences. Missing important things about yourself. I may never know my Black side fully, but my Hispanic side is very well versed in their culture. And while my Hispanic side really truly knows their culture and where they come from, I really cannot say the same about my Black half. Being told that you aren't really something just because you don't look or act a certain way, that is extremely destructive. It narrows everyone into these super neat little boxes. And these boxes aren't even really applicable to real life. Another major problem is appearance issues. This is usually enforced by darkness and skin color, or certain ethnic features being different, like lips, eyes, and noses. And this can totally impact whether those parts of them are received positively or negatively. Or the opposite, Having more Eurocentric features can have people calling you exotic and, ooh, wow, you're so, oh, you look good because we thought you looked like you were this, but wow, you've got all these pretty Eurocentric features piled on top. Wow. Now we need to talk about race. Race is not real. We made that shit up. Race is a construct, or what I like to call it, stereotyping 2.0. This is why the definition can change every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And why there's anywhere between 3 to 60 races at a time. And that's for billions of people. Here in the US, we have like 6 categories. You want to categorize everyone in the world into 6 categories when there's like 8 billion of us. Of course, there's gonna be weird pit holes and awkward areas. We made this shit up. So the last thing I do want to bring up is when you compare the problems of mixed individuals and the problems of other people of color, specifically those in the Black community. I remember consistently hearing, well, your problems aren't as bad. And while that is objectively true, yes, I will never face the same problems as someone who is fully Black or has darker skin than me in general. But it is not about good versus bad. Pain is pain. What there are differences. It is absolutely okay to talk about the differences in racial discrimination and injustice in the Black community without diminishing someone else's life experiences. There is a bigger overarching problem here, and that's that we all experience this racism shit on different levels. So please do not get me wrong. Darker people will absolutely always have and experience more intense racism and bigotry and hatred. I do not want to mitigate that, but it's really about understanding the differences in these experiences and how they differ from one another, not ranking them on who's better off, but understanding them in a way that we can solve these problems. I had a teacher in school once, my African American history teacher, and she told me the story. If you have 2 women being abused, one woman is being abused once a week by her husband, and the other woman is being abused once a month by her husband. Does it make sense for the woman being abused once a month to go and brag to the woman who's being abused weekly about how she's only abused once a month? Does it make sense for the woman who's being abused weekly to go to the woman who's being abused once a month and say, oh, you have it so much better than me. I hate you for it? No, we've got to look at the overarching problem here. Both are being abused, and we need to band together and solve the problem so no one's being hurt at the end of the day. Remember, there are no better problems. There's only different levels of problems. And they all suck. Alright, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this opens room for discussion. I'd love to hear everyone's points. If you're gonna disagree with me, let me know. I'd love to hear what you're gonna have to say. I am never going to be the person who's gonna stand on my point. If you have valid evidence and valid reasoning for me to change my mind, I would love to change my mind. Again, if you want to see more videos like this is the kind of stuff I'm going to this is the kind of stuff I will typically be making. Please consider subscribing, leaving a like, a dislike, commenting. My socials are all linked in the description. My Twitter, Insta, TikTok, it's all there. Twitch, I guess. I don't really stream that much anymore. Ooh. But I hope you guys genuinely have a great day. I love you so much. Thank you, and bye.